All right. Take 7. Hi. Hi, welcome back to this channel. My name is Susan Silentoi, and as you know, the aim of this channel is to offer information about how government works and why systems are set up the way they are, and this is to give information about how government works and how systems are set up, and through this we can raise a politically empowered generation. All right, so please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. So thank you so much for tuning into the BBI series. Thank you for all the feedback that you gave us. And today we're going to get into episode 3 of the BBI series, and we're going to focus on the judiciary. Now, there are about 9 constitutional amendments proposed by the BBI in relation to the judiciary, and we will focus on the one proposal about the Judicial Ombudsman, which has been the major talking point about this. And in this episode, I'll give you a brief about what is an ombudsman and what they do in general. And then we'll talk about a judicial ombudsman and the context around that, what has been proposed. And then we'll also talk about why it's an issue and what is the point of contention. Okay, so like I mentioned earlier, there are about 9 proposed changes for the judiciary in the Constitution, and I've summarized them and put them in the description box below if you'd like to go through each of them and see what each of the recommendations is. And just a snippet of that, number 1 is obviously the ombudsman that we've talked about, but also some of the proposals include having a term limit for the Deputy Chief Justice and the President of the Court of Appeal, and then also including like a number of years of experience for, adding the years of experience required for judges of, the Court of Appeal and the Supreme Court. So if you want to check that out, like they're in the description box below, please have a look at that. All right, so let's talk about an ombudsman. Guys, what's an ombudsman? So an ombudsman doesn't have to be a man. It can be a body or an office, and this body or office or someone is responsible for tackling improper administration in the public sector. So basically, this person is responsible for investigating, abuse of power or unfair treatment or delay in services or any sort of injustice that happens within a government office. And their responsibility extends both in the national government and the county governments as well. So we do have an office of the ombudsman in Kenya that covers this. So what exactly am I saying? Basically, this is, if you have an issue with any services that are offered by government, I'm talking about KRA, NHIF, NSSF, even issues with your passport and delays with that, you can direct all of these complaints towards the office of the ombudsman, and they will offer their services for free and they'll help you deal with that. So they have a website, they have an official website that that have detailed out how you can get in contact with them, what services they'll provide for you, and that all the services are free. So I think this sounds like a whole topic that we can cover in an entire episode. If you want us to talk about that, you know what to do. Let me know in the comments below. Also, I'd like to just, I'm just wondering, has any of you ever contacted the office of the ombudsman about any complaint? Did you know that this is a service that is available? Let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. All right, so now this office of the ombudsman covers, the offices in the national government and the county governments, but it does not go into the judiciary. And the judiciary does have like a very clear guidelines, and in Article 168 of the Constitution, it shows what are the grounds for the removal of a judge. But then this posed a little bit of a gap, however, because it came into question, like, what exactly is the procedure for filing a complaint against a judge who's done something that is not considered to be an offense that they can be removed from office. It's just in the middle here. So like what happens? So we didn't have that before, and when the former Chief Justice, Mr. Willy Mutunga, was in office, he set up an office of the Ombudsman within the judiciary, and it was an administrative office, and this person would receive complaints about judges, you know, and all those things that we mentioned earlier. If there was like unfair treatment, injustice, you know, something like that, which is great. So currently we do have an ombudsman who is a woman. Anyway, the current ombudsman is the Deputy Chief Justice Philomena Mwilu. Now, the only challenge with this is that it's not institutionalized in law. It's not in any law, and so it can be contested in court. So now the BBI proposes that we have a judicial ombudsman within the Constitution, and it proposes that this person should be appointed by the President and approved by Parliament, and will sit as a member of the Judicial Service Commission. And basically this person will do what any other ombudsman would do, but for the judiciary. Will receive complaints, you know, he will investigate judges, you know, and present these cases towards the JSC, the Judicial Service Commission. So that is the proposal. The proposal is have an ombudsman who is appointed by the President, approved by Parliament, and sits in the JSC. Now, what is the point of contention? It sounds all rosy, right? So critics have said, you know, that they've raised an issue with having an ombudsman who is appointed by the President and approved by Parliament. And, you know, people have said that this may pose a threat to the independence of the judiciary. You know, some people have said that it opens a way for there to be some control over the judiciary by the executive, just because of the mode of appointment. And you know, that it's clear, because the President is appointing this person and is approved by Parliament, it could play a role in how judges execute their mandate, especially when it comes to cases that are political, in terms of whether they're electoral cases or maybe they are corruption cases that touch on political figures. And the way that this can be fixed is just by having, you know, probably the ombudsman appointed maybe by the Judicial Service Commission, just like how judges are appointed. So that's the first one. The second point of contention is that, you know, having an ombudsman does not require a constitutional amendment. It doesn't require for us to have a referendum so that we can have this ombudsman. I mean, we already have one, yeah? But, you know, in fact, this can just be included in the Judicial Service Act, which is an act of Parliament. I mean, no one has to go for a referendum if this can be done. So those are the two main points of contention for this. Let me know if this was useful for you. Please comment down below. What are your thoughts about having an ombudsman who's appointed by the President? Do you think that in any way limits or introduces a sense of control for the judiciary? Let me know. Let's hear your comments below. Let's engage on the comments, and, you know, as usual, please remember to like, subscribe, and share, and I'll see you next time. Bye.